Hi everyone, this is Doug Stevens with Timberwood Inspections. Out doing a framing inspection today. One of the many things we look at for a framing and rough ends inspection is the installation and condition of the weather resistant barrier. And what I mean by that is I mean by stuff like this here, which is the house wrap, the pan material or flex wrap sometimes that we'll put on the sill under the windows. And the reason why we look at that is because if this is installed correctly, this could be a condition that's conducive to water infiltration and deterioration over time. And so what we're seeing on this window here is we're seeing the pan material being installed under the window wrap. The wrap is put inside here in the window like it should be, but this is installed underneath as opposed to on top. So if any condensation or water were to get down in here, it can go into this window wrap and it can actually get on the wood framing. So let me go to another spot in the house that'll show you a little better as far as how it gets onto the wood framing. Okay, here's a window opening where the window has not been installed yet. And so we see they've actually got this correct, and that it goes up 6 inches and it is over the weather resistant barrier out here, this house wrap. But on the sill it's not. And you can see how if water were to get into this right here, like here's the framing right here. So if water were to get in, condensate, come down, this is an area where we see water infiltration and damage on houses all the time, right in through here in the corners of the windows. And then also this isn't wide enough. It's covering the jamb like it should, but it should be 2 inches wider. So they sent out, looks like what would be for a 2x4 wall, they sent out for a 2x6 wall, as you can see. And so they do make this weather wrap here for a 2x8 wall. It's just 2 inches, or 2x6 wall, it's just 2 inches wider. And that should allow it to wrap down on the outside, which this is not. And also this sill does not slope to the outside. It has a slope to the inside. So if water were to condensate inside the window, so we'll have warm, typically warm, moist air on the exterior. We have cooler, drier air on the inside. And if they meet in here, that can condensate. That's the reason why we have these in. And so if that condensation goes this way and the pan material is not installed correctly, then it will deteriorate this, or it could roll back into the interior. And so it's very important that this membrane and pan material be installed correctly. So here we see again also over here, that's your sheathing right there. And so when I installed this, it's like got a little hump in it, so that just creates a dam, causes that water to come back. So really it doesn't take any longer to install it this way than it does to install it the correct way. It's just the person who installed this, or the people who installed this, just aren't educated on the proper method to install a weather resistant barrier on the window. And I see this so often, particularly on new homes, which this is, to see these types of installations. Let's go to another window. I'll show you in the house, and then we'll wrap up one that actually is installed correctly. So here at the front of the house, we're seeing one of the windows installed, and we are seeing that pan material or flex wrap or whatever it's called, depending on the manufacturer, as it's extending down below the window. The window's not caulked, which is right. And so this is more right than the other installations. And you can see how they have the material here. They actually have it in 2 layers. Probably would have been better to have them reversed, but at least they have it. It does go to the inside of the jamb, which is right. This is really still probably technically incorrect. This really should be, one piece of material, and should be sloped to the outside, but got to give them props where I can. And so this would be more of a window that's installed correctly. And so once again, Doug Stevens with Timberwood Inspections. This is what we do on a framing and rough end inspection. The weather resistant barrier is very important. Thank you for watching.